The last week might have been the most ridiculous week I've ever had in terms of Smash. It was just bad overall. Starting from SmashCon, everything seems to have gone wrong. At first, for those of you who don't know, I was at SmashCon. I tried to play doubles, right? And when I did, my team partner didn't show up. My team partner was supposed to be absent page. He overslept. He didn't show up. He didn't give a fuck. Because he didn't actually tell me anything. So I didn't talk to him the entire Saturday of the doubles tournament, basically. I just knew that he didn't show up and I didn't know why. And then on Sunday, he shows up, right? On Sunday, he's at the venue. He still doesn't talk to me. He doesn't tell me sorry. He doesn't confront me. He doesn't do anything. All he does is he's just at the venue playing fucking singles, playing doubles, right? So I walk up to him. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Why weren't you here? Like, I flew all the way out here to play, and you didn't show up. You didn't even tell me why you're not here. You didn't tell me anything. You just flaked, right? And then he mumbles something and continues playing his game. So I'm like, what the fuck? I just walk up to him. I go sit next to him because I want his attention, obviously. And I ask him, like, hey, dude, what happened? Where were you, right? And then he goes, well, the people I was with, the people that were supposed to house me, they left to the venue without me. I'm like, you have a phone, right? It's like, yeah, I have a phone. It's like, you could have Ubered. It's not a big deal. And even if you couldn't have Ubered for whatever reason, then you could have sent me a message. You had internet, right? And he's like, well, I was going to. And then he starts walking away. So as if the conversation somehow finished. So I walk after him. I'm like, dude, no, it's not okay, right? It's not okay at all. What the fuck happened? Why didn't you send me a message? And then he goes, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. It's just doubles. And he continues walking. So I have never been that close to killing someone in my life, ever. But I was legitimately thinking to myself, am I going to kill a guy on the SmashCon floor right now? Is that what's going to happen? I'm going to kill this little piece of shit? I could choke him right there and just not let go. That was a possibility. It crossed my mind, I'll be honest. But then I figured, am I really going to actually harm this guy and assault him over a video game? That's only going to, one, I might get shot by American police for no fucking reason. So that was a terrible idea. So I decided not to do anything, but to make a really angry fucking tweet. So I went with that route instead. But yeah, that ruined my doubles tournament, obviously, right? So that's how my weekend started. Pissed me off, but I could deal with it. So I play singles. I decided to focus on singles. I can't play doubles. All I did was play 2v1. I went 2-2, and that was it, right? So I figured, fuck it. Doubles got ruined by some dumbass that doesn't know how to socially interact with people. So I'm just gonna focus on singles, and I did. So I play this guy named Darktooth, who I was projected to play at EVO as well, but no, I wasn't projected to play him at EVO. I don't remember what happened actually, but I was supposed to play Darktooth. I destroy him game 1. He pulls up a comeback game 2. So I was up maybe 2-1 stock, something like that, but he somehow makes it back and manages to win. He plussed it out. I don't remember exactly what his adaptation was. I think he started doing run and shines, and I wasn't ready for them, and then he just killed me off of it twice. So I noticed that in game 2. I adapt, and in game 3, I am winning. I figured out he was doing run and shine, so I run up and grab him as he runs in, or I F-tilt him, or dash attack him, or throw needles, or do something, right? And I build up a 3-1 lead in stocks on game 3, last game. I have my game plans right, my adaptations are right, my tech chasing is fucking on point, I kill him with every grab. Basically, I was just playing really well. And then during that, basically, he's at this point, he's 1%, or 1%, he's at this point at 1 stock with about 60%. I'm on 3 stocks with about 30%. I have a super healthy lead. The game, like, the momentum is all in my favor. This looks like it's basically a formality at this point, right? And at that point, one of his friends, or one of his supporters, I don't know if he knows the person personally, decides, you know what? I'm going to cheer for my boy. Which is okay. People are allowed to cheer. I don't mind. But he decided to scream in my ear for no fucking reason. People that know me know that I do not get distracted easily at all. I don't. I just don't. I like it when people cheer. I like it when people cheer for me. I like it when people cheer against me because it means people care, and that's what makes it that much more special to me. It makes me want to focus. It makes me want to try. But what this guy did, he screamed so fucking loud that my ear started beeping, and he literally startled me. So I was so confused. I didn't know what was going on. For those of you who know how to focus on a tournament game, it feels like you're in some kind of a trance, right? You're not consciously thinking about most things, but you're just in a flow state where you just react automatically, you do what you need to do. And I was in that state, and then I wasn't, because this guy screamed. So he took me out of it completely. I tried to basically regain myself, but Dark Boot was pushing way too hard. And I basically, from that moment on, I think if you actually looked at the statistics, you would see that I went from about 90% accurate tech chases to 0. Pretty much. I dropped every combo, every edge guard, every tech chase, everything. I missed every DI. So he makes a 3-1 comeback and beats me and sends me to losers. So that sucked. It was horrible. I was really angry. I was really mad. Not even at Dark Tooth, because I feel like even though I feel like that supporter basically robbed everyone from me playing my absolute best and knowing what the outcome would be if I actually played my best, Dark Tooth still had to make that comeback, so I could respect that. It wasn't about the result. It wasn't about losing to Dark Tooth that bothered me. What bothered me was that I was playing my best, and then some guy decided to do what he did in order to help his friend basically beat me, instead of relying on his friend's own skills to beat me at my best. So that was my singles thing. And then in losers, I played Swedish and lost, by the way, for 33rd. So that kind of sucked. So that was my SmashCon weekend, which was fucking terrible. So I figured, you know what? Fuck it. It happened. I have a fantastic tournament on the horizon in air. So I'm just going to focus on air instead. What happens on Sunday evening? I get sick. So I get sick. Like, legitimately, I got the flu. So I get a flu. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I'm going to get to London anyway. It's going to be a terrible trip because I was going to go from Washington to Boston, Boston to Iceland, Iceland to London. It's a long-ass trip. It's not what you want in your life, but I had to do it. So, first trip. I'm in Washington. I'm going to Washington to Boston, right? I'm the kind of person that can fall asleep real easily on a plane. So, as we're taxiing to our runway... Wow, that was terrible. As we're taxiing to our runway, I fall asleep. Like I always do. And then I woke up as we were taxiing back to our gate. Right? We're taxiing to our gate. I'm like, yes, we're here, finally. Right? I fell asleep, as I always do. I'm not feeling too well. I'm happy that, God damn it. I'm happy that we're here. Right? Turns out, we were taxiing to the same gate. We were still in fucking Washington. So I wasn't actually in Boston. We were still in Washington. You have to understand, I was asleep for a solid 2.5 hours. So when I woke up, realizing we were still in Washington, that pissed me off, obviously, right? So I figured, you know what? We can still salvage this. It's fine. It sucks, but it's fine. I was hoping that I could get off the flight, get my bags, and then rebook a flight straight to London or something like that. Because I had a layover that I had to get in like 2 hours. So having a 2-hour delay means I'm not going to make my layover. So I'm going to have to book a new ticket, even if I go to Boston. So why would I go there, right? So I asked them, like, hey, can I get off the plane? Like, yeah, you can. But if you do, you can't get back on. That's one. And if you're off, then your luggage is going to your final destination, which in my case was not. It wasn't London. My final destination officially during that trip, for them at least, was Boston, because it wasn't an official transfer. It was one that it was 2 separate flights basically. So I basically couldn't go. I couldn't get off the flight because then my bags would be in Boston and I would have to go there anyway. So I decided to stay. So I end up in Boston. This is a long-ass story, but I end up in Boston. Obviously, I missed my flight, but I figured, you know what? I'm going to talk to the representatives of the company, of the flight that I booked, and tell them, like, hey, I missed my flight. I need a new one. Can you guys help me? So I ask around, like, hey, where's their desk? Where's WoW Air? WoW Airways is what they're called, I think? Like, where are they at? Everybody tells me all the WoW Air representatives are already gone when I got there. They're already gone. They all left home. They left home about an hour ago. They either went on the flight or went home. So now I'm in Boston. No fucking flight. Nobody to talk to ask where I'm supposed to go. So and I'm sick at this point. I have a fever. So I'm in full panic mode. I'm super annoyed. I missed my flight. Super delayed. I'm sick. I don't know where to go. I don't have a hotel to stay. I don't know anyone in Boston. You know? So I call my manager, and he manages to get me a a hotel and a new flight. And the flight was the day after, basically. So I'm like, you know what? I'm happy. He saved it for me. Just like I saved Adam just now. But he saved it for me.
What?
Oh, poor Adam. So I head to my hotel. I only get worse, by the way. I only get more and more sick. But I figured it's fine. It's fine. I can relax here. I can eat. I can rest. I can get some medicine. I can do whatever I need to do. So I did. I got some Advil. I got some Dayquil. I got a bunch of American medicine. And I ordered some food. I went to sleep. And then the day after, I felt even worse, obviously. But I figured, you know what? I won't feel better staying here, so I might as well just take the flight, because the flight was in the evening. I'll take the flight, I'll eat properly, and I'll try and sleep on the flight, and then I might feel better when I'm in London, right? Because I can't do anything about it anyway.
I need all the station.
Right? So, I take the flight. Sick as a dog. Take the flight. I asked them, like, hey, did you guys get my order for a vegan meal? They're like, no, we didn't. And the reason that they couldn't do it, like, I did put in the order for a vegan meal, but they said, yeah, you have to order your vegan meal 36 hours before you book your flight. I booked my flight less than 24 hours before I went on the actual flight, because it was a rescheduled booking, right? Because I missed my layover. So I asked them, I tell them, like, hey, I tell the flight attendants, look, I understand that you don't have a vegan meal for me, but do you at least have some fruit or a salad or something that I can eat, because I'm sick? And I feel horrible, and I feel like I'm about to faint, right? That's what I told them. And it was actually true. And they go, well, we don't really have much, but you can take a look at our kiosk on the screen. Like, we had a little screen where you could order food. And I tell them, like, look, I get that, but I don't have a credit card, so I don't think I can order from there. She just looks at me straight up and goes, well, then I can't help you. You have to understand that at this point, I have a fucking fever, and I haven't eaten in like 40 hours, right? So she just tells me, no, there's no food, and there's nothing we can do. You either order food, or you don't get anything. I didn't even get water. That's what you have to understand. I got absolutely nothing, right? So I'm getting more and more sick as I'm sitting in my chair. I get dizzy, I get warm and hot, and more delirious, and I feel weaker and weaker and weaker. And at one point, I got so weak that I got scared. I got really scared. I wasn't sure if I was okay, because obviously I had a fever, but not just a fever. I didn't eat, so I called the flight attendants again, and I go, look. Like, I called them, and I wanted to go, look, I need something, or I might die on this fucking flight, right? But we didn't even get to that point, because I pressed the button, got them to show up, but before they got there, I passed out. I was knocked the fuck out for I don't know how long. I was legitimately knocked out in my chair. And then after a while, I don't know how long, I woke up. And all the people that were sitting next to me were now gone. Like, the seats were empty. There were flight attendants all around. They were all looking at me concerned, asking, like, hey, are you okay? At that point, clearly I was not okay. My arms were in a weird position like this. I couldn't really think. I couldn't really move. I could only nod, no, I'm not okay, right? All of a sudden now, they have orange juice for me. They're like, oh, we have a little bit of orange juice so you can get your sugar back up. And even sick, half dead, I was thinking, fuck all of you. Why didn't you give me this way earlier so this never happened? So they give me orange juice. I grab it. I try to drink. And I notice, I just go, ugh, and I throw up over my own bag, over my own legs, over my jacket. And then pass out again. I didn't even drink. I passed out, and I was knocked out for I don't know how long. I was knocked the fuck out. So when I finally wake up, I'm covered in vomit. Still didn't eat. All the flight attendants are looking at me like I nearly died, which I probably did. So I look at one of them, I'm like, how long is this flight still? It's like 3 hours. And I passed out again. So when I finally woke up for the like third or fourth time, we finally arrived. I felt a little bit better. I don't know how or why, because I still didn't eat and it was still horrible. But oh, what? It's gonna crash. Hold on. So I finally get to London. And now I still have to travel to fucking Birataro's place for 2.5 hours with a heavy bag, a vomit pants. Like, it was so bad. It was the single worst trip I've ever had in my life. It was so fucking terrible. So, but I ended up getting there and then fell asleep and got some food in me, got some more medicine. Like, Birataro gave me some opium pill or whatever the fuck it was. It was a real painkiller. So, that helped. And then I went to air. And then at air, I was still fucking sick. But decided to compete anyway. And then Over gets fucking upset in pools. And I have to play in round 1 and I lose. So. And then I didn't make top 8 because I had to play fucking ice to get there. I lost to Over and ice and got 9th. Okay? My entire week was horrible. You guys have no fucking idea.
Super bad luck.
It was so bad.
Damn.
But it doesn't stop there. You think that's the end. It's not. When I went home, on my way home, right? I'm like, okay, we're done. I'm sick. I'm finally done. Air was awesome, but obviously I didn't feel too well. Now I'm finally going to go home, and I'll feel much better when I finally get there. Yay. I'm going to take my flight. My friends are going to take their train, but I'm going to take my flight because I have a sponsor, and that's going to be way easier for me. So we leave at the same fucking train station. I take the train to my airport. They take the train all the way to fucking Rotterdam or whatever the hell they have to go. Get to the airport. First thing I notice is that I have to pay for my bag, which sucks. So they tell me, yeah, you have to pay 50 euros for your bag. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll pay 50 euros. I don't care. I just want to get home. And I can't leave my bag here, obviously, right? So I tell her, okay, where can I get 50 euros? Because I don't have money on me. I only have a card. They don't accept my card. She's like, yeah, there's an ATM over there. You can get money from there. And there's a money exchanger over there as well if you need help. I'm like, okay, sure. So I go to the ATM. And I try to pin euros. And it's like, no, only pounds. I'm like, well, we're in England. What was I expecting, right? So I pin 50 pounds. I'm like, that should be enough. I go to the money exchanger. She's like, this is only 44 euros. I'm like, fuck! So I pin. I go back. I take another 10 pounds. I exchange it for 56 euros in total. I go stand in line to pay for my stuff. I stand in line for about half an hour. When I'm there, I'm like, I got this receipt that I need to pay for my bag. It's 50 euros. I have 50 euros. Here you go. The lady behind the desk looks at me. She goes, we don't accept euros.
Oh my god.
So I look at her like, what the fuck do you mean you don't accept euros? It says euros on the fucking thing. She told me it's 50 euros. How am I supposed to pay for this if you don't accept euros? She's like, we only accept pounds. Like, how many pounds is 50 euros? It's like 45. So I storm out of the line. I am fucking angry right now, right? So I'm pissed. I go back to the ATM because you have to understand, I now wasted money pinning money. I went from euros to pounds because I used an ATM. Then I went from pounds to euros because I used the money exchanger. That's money's gone. It's gone. So I'm angry. I go back. I get the pounds. I stand back in line, right? Another fucking half an hour. At this point, you have to understand, I was at the station 2 hours early because you have to check your bag in early, right? But because I went back and forth, now I have like 40 minutes to actually check in my bag or I'm fucked. So I waited in line for about 20 and then I realized I might not be able to check out my bag. I run back to the counter of the lady that told me for the first time that I had to pay for my bag. I tell her, look, I went back and forth already and I'm not going to be able to check in my bag unless you help me because this line is way too long. And the person in front of me, I was standing in line, I didn't move for like 20 minutes. And that's because the person that was basically talking to the attendant was talking about how she got deported from Tel Aviv or whatever the fuck she was. And she was really angry and it wasn't moving. She was only screaming. They weren't going anywhere. So I tell her that. And then she walks up to one of her other colleagues that was supervising behind the desk there. And she explains the situation and she's trying to get me to be able to pay for my bag, right? So as she's doing that, some entitled jackass French tourist walks up. He's like, no, listen, it is my turn right now. And he's basically saying he's been waiting here all this time for like 10 minutes and it's his turn. And I just look at him like she's talking to her colleague. Who the fuck are you? And he ignores. She's like, no, but he's with me. And then he ignores her. He ignores the lady that's helping me and starts talking to the guy behind the desk. And to my fucking irritation, the guy behind the desk starts paying attention to the asshole Frenchie that starts talking. So at this point, I am boiling. I am this close to killing a motherfucker, right? So I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Count to 10. I'm like, 1, 2, 3. When I reach 4, I'm like, no, I'm not counting to 10. So I tell him, listen, dude. I've been waiting here for over an hour. Get your French fucking arrogant entitled ass to the back of the line before I fucking throw you there. I am not in the mood for this shit. I said it like that. I was really fucking angry, right? So the guy looks at me all startled and leaves.
Yeah. Amazing.
And from that moment on, things still went fucking wrong. You thought it was going to go better. It was not. It was not. So I check in my bag. I go to my gate, right? I'm like, okay, my flight's at 7:50. I am here. We're all good. First thing I see, flight's delayed. Not 7:50, 8:50. So I'm like, you know what? We're fine. I'm going home at 8:50. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna go get food and wait. So I sit next to the actual, like I sit really close to to one of the monitors. And I open my phone and open a monitor there as well, so I can see exactly when my flight is, because it didn't actually tell me a gate yet, right? It didn't tell me a gate, it just said flight delayed. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get some food, and then in about half an hour, because it was delayed for an hour, I'm gonna see where my gate is and go there. So I wait, I refresh my phone every now and then, and it still says delayed, it doesn't say gate or anything. So now we're at this point, it's maybe 8:35-ish, so I'm confused why there's no gate. I'm starting to doubt that my phone is up to date. So I walk up to the monitor, right, to see if it's also saying flight delayed. It didn't say flight delayed, it said gate closed. So now I'm standing at the airport, having a fucking heart attack, because how did I actually miss my gate? Did I miss a message saying that my gate was supposed to be somewhere? It's gate closed. So I'm totally fucking panicking right now. I ran over to one of the gates. I didn't even care which one. I just started talking to one of the representatives from a different airline. I explained the situation, like, hey, it said delayed, it didn't say gate, and now it says gate closed. I don't even know which gate. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I'm panicking. This is the worst week ever. So I explained that, and she's like, oh, she looked at my flight information. She's like, oh, you're supposed to be at gate 10, and it says that the flight supposedly just landed, and she doesn't know why it says gate closed. So I fucking sprint to gate 10, right? And I get there, and everybody else is there, and I think to myself, thank fucking God, we're good, right? We're okay. We made it. No representative there at all. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on. I don't even know how everybody got to the gate, because I got there because I panicked, but apparently at some point it showed it, but there was no one there. No one from the flight. So we wait there for about 45 minutes with no fucking information whatsoever. And I start walking. I start looking for a different representative. I explain to him, like, hey, we're at gate 10, there's no one here. And as I do that, apparently someone opened up a door for us to go downstairs and check in. You had to show your boarding pass and whatever. So we all walk downstairs. And then we just stand there for another 40 minutes and nothing happens. And then one lady from that actual representative shows up, and she's like, look, I'm trying to check some of you guys in, but apparently internet checking did not work, so we're not able to check in people that used internet check-in. At this point, I was so done. I was so mad. So that took another 30 minutes before they fixed it. And then this one lady finally started checking in people one by one. There were 2 desks, but one person. An entire flight. So this took for fucking forever. But we finally got in. So I'm sitting in the plane. I'm like, okay, you know what? We're good. Finally, I can get in the plane, get to my seat, and just go. We're done, right? So I walk up to my seat, 7E, and it says you're not allowed to sit here. I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I not allowed to sit here? It says this at no other seat except mine. My specific row says you're not allowed to sit in this seat. Like, what the fuck? Why am I not allowed to sit in this seat? So flight attendant walks up to me. She's like, look, for your own safety, you're not allowed to sit here, because apparently the air mask that basically show up in case of an emergency weren't working. So I'm like, okay, what now? It's like, as long as the plane's not full, we'll give you another seat. I'm like, what if the plane is full? She's like, she didn't tell me. So now, so at this point, again, I'm fucking panicking. I'm like, God damn it. Why is this happening to me? Why? Why can't I sit in my seat? I don't care if the plane crashes, have a bigger problem than just oxygen, okay? So let me just sit in the goddamn seat. I wasn't allowed to. So now I'm waiting. I'm waiting, because I don't know if the seat's gonna be full. But eventually she relocates me to a different seat, and I sit there, and the flight takes off, and we're all good. So I get home. I get home to Schiphol. I run out the actual plane to the baggage location, and I sit there, and it says, your baggage is gonna take 35 minutes to get here. Why? Why would it take 35 fucking minutes when we landed and we're the only plane here? Nobody fucking knows, but I had to wait 35 minutes, so I did. And I wait, I don't see my bag. I wait some more. I still don't see my bag. I wait some more. Still no bag. And then it says, all baggage is on the belt. It's all on the belt. But I still haven't seen my bag. So I'm waiting. Still don't see my bag. And after 10 minutes, I'm like, wait. There's no way that my bag shouldn't have been here already, right? So I track one bag, and it makes a full circle. And my bag's not there. Dude. I've never been that angry in my life. So I don't have a bag. I just don't have a fucking bag. So I start walking around like, what the fuck? You have to understand, at this point, I'm tired of everything. I just want to go home. I don't even care about my bag anymore. So I walk around the actual belt and saw that somebody else apparently took off my bag and put it on the floor because he thought it was his. That's how I found my bag. And then I went home, and then I went to sleep. And the nightmare was fucking over. After that, everything was fine. But that was my week. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. It's fucking terrible. It's the single worst story I've ever had. Everything went wrong. It was so bad. But now we're good.